Hey guys, this is Steve Sheehan. We are at Phoenix this week. 2 weeks ago we were at Vegas and I had the pleasure of kind of following Marcus Lindsay to his first win. Congrats to him. And we're learning little by little what this car has in it for every track we go on the circuit. We also have some help coming on board as far as sponsorship, so thank you to them in advance. And let's get started. Alright, so here's the hot lap. Coming off turn 4, hit the line at about 160. Entering turn 1, you're going to see me get all the way off the throttle and a little bit on the brake. This is important. It keeps the balance of the car there. Come off turn 2 and coming down the backstretch into turn 3. I'm going to go all the way down to the yellow line and let the car slide up the track. I'm coasting this whole time. Now into turn 3, let it coast, let it slide up the track all the way up to the seam, bring it back down, start transitioning back onto the throttle. It's very important not to use throttle and brake at the same time here. That's kind of a constant theme with this car, and you're going to see me doing that in a lot of these segments. Now Phoenix in iRacing is quite a challenge, mainly because of 1 and 2. Turn 1 and 2 is very, very difficult to grasp. There is a fine line between too low and too high as far as where the grip is. And there's a seam and there's a couple black strips on the track that you can use to hit your mark, to kind of use as a line. You're probably going to want to straddle that top darker line. Not the seam, but the top darker line. A couple cars you're going to see, especially on the short run, able to run a little bit lower. After about 15-20 laps, more than likely they will be too loose to run there and they're going to have to move up. And even moving up isn't really going to save their car, because it's not the car and the line, it's actually their tires at that point that they burnt off by running too low. Now you're going to see a couple guys set up a little bit looser and they're going to run higher where the grip is. This is going to slow them down a little bit at the start compared to those guys that are set up a little bit tighter and are able to run a little bit lower. But those cars that run high the entire time and set up a little bit looser, they're going to be better on the long runs. Now coming back down the backstretch, we have this kink here. It's not paved like you see in real life. The 2x2 racing into turn 3 is a blast here. You can really outbrake someone on the high side and then pinch them down. The way 3 and 4 is, you don't want to be stuck to the bottom the entire time. You want to kind of work a diamond, or you want to just run a little bit higher on entry and through the apex. Now this race is 156 laps. We can go about 70 to 80 laps on fuel. That's basically going to put us around 3 pit stops for the race, possibly 2, but this race isn't going to go green. This car is too tough to drive. We're going to be racing really, really, really hard. We're going to always want to take 4 tires. Now, late in the race, you may see some people risk it, maybe tighten the car up another way to correct for those 2 tires being too loose. But I'd say, for the most part, it's going to be 4 tire changes, and it's going to be hard driving every lap of the race. There's nothing about this specific track that's easy. We're going to have to be wheeling it every single lap and keep the car under us and stay very smooth, much like Marcus Lindsay did for the end of that race at Vegas, so it's going to be a blast. First and foremost, I got to thank Al Smith over at Upstate Racing for being on the hood. I also have to thank Mustang Creek, Rich Falkenberg over at Lane Sim Products, and also the iRacing Memes Facebook page, and last but not least, my buddy Paul Cooper. He wanted to help me out this week. In 2 weeks, we go to Texas for 167 laps. That's going to be a lot like Vegas, only it's a little bit smoother of a track. Hopefully you guys enjoy the race at Phoenix tonight, and thanks for watching HotLaps. We'll see you next week.